Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Mindful Merchants Live. You guys know who I am, Cali Reseller Luis, and you guys know who this guy is over here, my co-host, the Lone Star Picker, Louie.
No, I'm Tom Cruz. What are you talking about? Down below, we got the Whooz Tom Cruz. Who's the real Tom Cruise? Ladies and gentlemen, he's here. Let me take my vaquero hat off. Let's do this. Let's do this. Who do we got below, Luis?
We got our good friend, Whooz Tom Cruz. How you doing, Tom?
Man, I am just enjoying this Monday afternoon. I'm so stoked all week because I knew I was coming on, and I was like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. This is going to be so much fun, bro.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Yeah, man, today's been good. It's been cold and raining down here in Southern Cali, so I don't know how the weather's up there with you guys, but it's been raining down here.
Up here in Northern California, it's a little windy, but it's not raining, so we'll take it.
So tell everybody, Tom, where in Northern California? Are you in the Bay Area?
Yes, sir. I am in the Bay Area, California. I'm about 25, 30 miles east of San Francisco. Okay. But as a crow flies, it's more when you're driving because there's a lot of But yeah, I'm in there's an area called Walnut Creek, Concord, that area.
Born and raised in San Jose, bro. I know Walnut Creek. Backyard.
I was born in San Jose.
No way. So you were brother. Boom. Got a San Jose.
Well, there we go. You've got the Bay Area connection right there.
Yes, I was born in San Jose a really long time ago, and then family went down to San Fernando of all places, Southern Cal, and then a few years after that, I was probably 12 when I moved up to the Bay Area and never left. Kind of been here the whole time ever since.
Awesome.
Yeah. I was probably still in my diapers or just getting out of my diapers just as you were moving up there. And in San Jose, you'll never believe this. So I want to, and the reason I'm bringing this up because I'm going to ask you a quick question, Tom.
Yeah.
I was born in San Jose. Right across the street was where I was raised from the San Jose Flea Market on Berryessa Road. I don't know if you know.
Been there a few times.
I know, and you know what's going to be funny is I bet you if we were to be able to rewind our lives, you and I crossed paths at different times. You were probably a teenager. I was probably in middle school, and who knows what was going on. And we were probably no, I'm getting those comics. No, I'm getting those baseball cards.
Yeah, I copped my first collection of East Side oldies. If you know what those are, East Side oldies. They're a 12-volume set, and at the time they were really sought after. And they have all these oldies on 10 or 12 tracks on each record.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're pretty bomb, and I remember that place because I scored heavily on that. So anyway.
They're in the San Jose Flea Market because you stopped for just a second. But okay.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but yeah, it was at the fairgrounds is what I used to call it, San Jose Flea Market. But yeah, it was a nice collection of East Side oldies that I found there. Yeah.
Talk about good music. So
well,
welcome you guys. We're gonna stop and say hi real quick, but you guys, if you don't know this, down below, if you want to know who's Tom Cruise, this is the Tom Cruise, one and only. This guy is the master DJ. Let me tell you what, we're going to get into that in a little bit. So if you want to know, and he's got the super fire. I'm telling you, we're happy to have him here as a guest. Luis, all his information, his links are down below, correct? So if anybody needs to find it,
should be there.
Okay, good deal. Let's say some hellos here. I see. Oh, happy birthday, Cali. Back by Silver. Just let the cat out of the bag. That's the host. Happy birthday. Let's wish my buddy here. This is my co-host, Cali Reseller Luis. If you don't know him, you better like and subscribe right now. Stop what you're doing right down below.
Thanks, man.
Let me tell you, this guy is a fire master. These two guys I'm talking to, they're the guys that taught me so much about etiquette, how to run a good auction, what to do, how to act with people. You guys are the epitome of this. We're going to get into it a little bit. Do you mind a little later down the road? We're going to talk about auction stuff.
Yep, definitely.
Let's finish saying hi. I see Sandy Kirk's in here. Oh my gosh, we got all kinds of people.
Hello, Rhonda. Rhonda's in here.
Rhonda is Shadow Woman. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Emily Conway.
Hello, Emily.
Emily. She's awesome. She's
we got a good friend, Brendan Sparks.
Brendan Sparks. He will give you help on your YouTube, and not as a reseller, but as a content creator. This guy is smart. He's got the info. Welcome.
If you guys haven't checked out his channel, check him out.
Yeah. Flipping sports guy.
How you doing, buddy?
What's cooking?
Sandy Kirk. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate it.
Oh, look at all that cake and donuts. Let me
I
tell
know,
you.
right? Too bad I can't eat all that.
Yeah, right.
What's
You
up,
don't want to
Calvary?
eat all that stuff. We're all at that stage of our life, like, okay. And I went and got donuts today with my daughter. And I'm like, not too much.
What's up, Hollywood Reseller? How you doing, buddy?
Hollywood, down SoCal. What's cooking, man?
Sandy Kirk says hello to you, everyone. And then Ella's here. How you doing, Ella?
Miss Ella, she was our guest a couple weeks ago. She's awesome. Cat.
Hello, Cat, and thank you. Appreciate it.
Look at that. We got all this love. So
Yeah, I know,
thank
man.
you for being here. Tom Cruise is here today. He's here to help us celebrate Luis's birthday. And we're going to talk about some really good reseller information. We have Ron in the house.
Hello, Ron. How you doing? We have Global Voodoo in the house, too.
Oh,
Mikey.
Global Voodoo. What's up, Mike?
Hey,
Good to
Mike.
have
How you
you.
doing?
He says, change bag and thumbs up. You know what that means? Grab those bags and run, Tom.
Yeah.
I know. All right. Emily already has a question. She says, do you know the way to San Jose?
Okay, there we go. Because your name has who is Tom Cruise, forget about that. Do you know how to get to San Jose? Do you know the way?
Oh, yes.
Let's bring it down there. Do we have a couple more people we need to say hi, or did we catch up almost everybody?
We got our bro Westside Gary in the house.
Westside Gary!
What's up, Gary?
There's one of our next guests coming up. There's the man that makes it happen. This is, if you guys don't know Gary, Westside Gary, and down below, Tom Cruise, these guys have some of the most fire auctions. This is why we're having them on today. We're going to talk about it all. We're going to unload some secrets. Maybe not all of them. A few.
Right.
Just a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, man. If you guys aren't watching their auctions, you guys are missing out.
Yeah.
They got the fire lots.
Last week, man, you guys were like, woo. I had my daughter over, and I was like, I got to go to an auction. She's like, you don't want to spend time with me, Dad?
We got Patrick Murphy's in the house. Hello, Patrick.
Mr. Murphy.
Maria is in the house. Carolina lady.
lady.
Wendy's here.
There's our Lady Luck right here. Lucky Charm.
Yes.
A lot of these folks will attend our auctions, and they're really good friends. So we're thankful for you guys being here in the live. Thank you for coming today to support Tom Cruise. Simply Dana is in the house.
Mm-hmm.
She's a wonderful singer. Marrakesh.
Marrakesh is here.
If you guys don't know Marrakesh 7, his name is Sadiq. He's a really good supporter of a lot of content creators. And he says, happy birthday, bro. Comes right from Westside Gary.
Gary's trying to get me drunk already.
Dang, bro.
Well, it's your birthday. Get drunk on life, bro. That's all you got to do. You don't have to do too much more.
I know. Thanks, Ella. I think we're caught up with everybody now. Yep.
All right. If we see anybody, maybe we'll just take some notes and we'll say hi.
Yep.
Let's start off this question with a little bit of funness.
Okay.
All right. We're going to go based on your name. And after I'm going to ask you, let's just say 3 or 4 questions, maybe 3, just 3 questions. And then we want to know, where did you get Whooz Tom Cruz? My first question for you is, who is your YouTube crush? Ooh. So who's Tom Cruise? Who's your YouTube crush? Doesn't matter. It's not a sexual thing. It's not about romance.
All right. Okay.
Like, who's somebody you watch and go, yeah, pretty cool. Could be a dude. Could be a gal. It could be some weird couple.
Right.
You know?
I like a lot of content creators. Tommy Bernard is one of my favorites.
There you go.
I've been watching a lot of like D. Niman and a few other helpful people that are in the community helping small channels like myself succeed.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I draw inspiration from many, many, many content creators and reseller channels alike. Gary being one of the biggest ones, of course. He and I are, of course, partnered up, and I really respect and admire how he operates. So, absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. So being a mindful merchant is just being aware, being conscious, and just realizing we're all connected here. You know, there's like no competition really. I mean, everybody kind of like, oh, I don't want to give it. But you know what? We're all here to help each other. We're all like to learn from each other. We all got all these goodies, you know. But I got to say, speaking of which, you were so nice one day that you came on, Luis, and when I was on there, and Luis is really nice, repeat. You came on, you bought something from me. So here's my next Whooz Tom Cruise question. We're going to put it in the phrase of a who's. Who is this guy named John Travolta. And do you have a crush on John Travolta? And the reason I asked that is
I knew this was
down
coming.
below, Tom Cruise bought a lot. He bought an 8-track tape of John Travolta. And I thought, does this guy have a crush on John Travolta? He bought an 8-track, a DVD, a CD, and he bought this like book of what was it, The Urban Cowboy?
Yes. Yeah. Hey, in all fairness to me,
Who
brother,
was that
it was
for?
and credit to you for that lot, because it had a lot of nice, unique pieces with John Travolta related stuff in there. And all I need to do is put an Urban Cowboy record with it, and maybe a Saturday Night Fever record with it or something, and I'm done. It could be a great lot. Yeah,
because he did do a lot of good soundtracks, and I think that's one thing you and I comment. We haven't. By the way, it's really great to have you, Tom, because you and I haven't had a chance to really do this. I mean, other than on the chats, it's kind of weird. So, getting to see you, we did see you a couple times where you popped in and out. You know,
what up, Joey?
It's good to have you. Hey, Joey, that's our local mailman, Mr. Italiano, Joey Bada Bing 22. Boom, boom. Let's go, as he says. Let's go.
Let's go.
And that guy, that's what I'm saying. Like, this community, we bring fire to each other. We just inspire. We have fun. And this is what it's all about. So I'm glad, you know, and this is where it's fun. Like, I try to like think, how can I be like you guys? And then you're giving me a compliment. Like, thank you for, you know, letting me know that I'm putting good lots together. Because I want to make sure that I like this idea about auction community and stuff. But I'll be honest, if it wasn't for my co-host here, Luis, I probably wouldn't be like even remotely considering it. And not because I have no qualms with auction. I just know nothing. I feel like I have a lot to learn. And the more I watch, I go, these guys really are rocking it. And it changes because every auction's different. Everything has a little different flavor. You see new people come in. New items are flying in and out the door, bro. And what I like about you is you do music. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Good. You were going to say something.
Yeah, just to give a little background on people who've never met me or seen me. Yeah, I appreciate meeting new people all the time. And matter of fact, this is an opportunity to see and meet new people. And I'm going to probably rewatch the replay and learn about more people that I mean, I got to tell you, I mean, it just goes on and on and on about number of people that come in and out of these channels. And so I'm Tom. I'm a records guy. I'm a media guy, records, tapes, CDs, all kinds of things like that. Really, really heavy. And once in a while, I'll sprinkle in other types of things on the YouTube auctions that are hosted over on Westside Gary's channel. And he and I have been partnered up for almost about a year now.
Wow.
Pretty much since COVID. Yeah, it's probably pretty much been around since COVID. We've really
you guys have this like chemistry in your relationship. When I say relationship, like a business relationship, you guys act like you've known each other all your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really does seem that way. And I'm very fortunate to have met him. I was actually selling on Storage Auction Pirates auction one day. He had me guest on, and Gary jumped in and bought a lot of that. It was right there, all the way down from there. From that day forward, we hooked up.
Have you had the opportunity to meet Gary?
Not live, like in person, no.
Okay.
There is a plan in the works because there's a lot of resellers in my area. There, I can name off a whole litany of people. There's Locker Nuts, there's Storage Auction Pirate, there's Storage Stalkers.
That's right. They're all up in your area.
Yeah, Storage Scott is another good friend of mine. He's actually going to be over here in about an hour. Nice. Anyway, so there's just so many people and great resellers up here that we think maybe that it'd be great to get him to come up north, and we can just do like a really cool meet and greet. But that's still in the works.
Well, that's the wonderful thing, because you guys just met. Like I said, it seems like you've been there, but those things take time, and it's just like any other business relationship. We love to network, but I think resellers are a little bit unique within other business ventures, you know, business life, and you get it. You know, it's like you gotta and with COVID going on and stuff, and you know, people have health issues and stuff. You want to be careful. You know, and so it's like there's so many different actual ways of thinking about the auction world, and it's just unique because to me it's like it's helped me level my game up, like seeing it on in terms of technology, being not just YouTube but like being able to do different variations of auction, but specifically YouTube. How has that affected your business and the way you think of auctions?
I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. I was scared in the beginning, like a lot of people are, real nervous about how it's going to be perceived. And then I just started going, you know what? You're going to like me or you're not going to like me. It's okay. I just totally chill on that. And I like I said, I got past my first auction. just as a guest. I've always been guests, and so my channel is growing little by little, and so hopefully I'm going to start branching out as maybe one a week and then still be with Gary on the other week kind of thing. But absolutely, I mean, I enjoy the YouTube community. I've had a lot of fun. I've grown a lot since when I first came on. Yeah, so yeah, I'm totally.
It's kind of a weird thing too, don't you think, Tom? Like just and this is no reflection on YouTube in general, but I'm just like, it's a different world. Like there's a part of us that like, we're content creators, we got to act and we got to do these things, and you know, persona as opposed to
that comes to mind. But I think the thing that I've learned right away is that it has to be organic, or people aren't going to buy into, you know, oh, what's this guy doing cartwheels and wearing funny hats and, you know, clown stuff. I mean, that might work for somebody.
There's time for funny silliness, but you can't just keep doing that.
You really have to keep it real, and I think people are smart enough to see through all that like chicanery kind of stuff. But sure, Good point. I'm glad you said that. Real quick, we're gonna say hi to a couple other people. I saw a couple newbies coming in here. The cap guy, I think his name is Bobby, is here. Miss Katie Reeds, we're gonna have to get her on one day. She's awesome. She is a brilliant, smart reseller. She has both Instagram she works hard on, and she does some other stuff too online, of course. Outcountry Sales is here. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Outcountry.
Sorry, I got a spam risk here. Dialing in. Who else did I see? Did I miss? Got those. Sandy Kirks. Yeah. Katie Reeds.
Hey, Jan, how you doing?
We'll have to give Katie Reeds what do you call it? A blue wrench there, so she can.
I'll wrench right now. Hey, how you doing, Derek?
Derek, there you go.
What's up, Derek?
Speaking of auctions, he's starting. He's kind of new with us too. You know, like he's probably, you know, he's definitely newer than Luis and you guys. But he's got a little thing starting here. You know.
I've definitely checked them out. I think they're doing a great job over there.
I see Thrifty Lobster. Talk about crazy content creation, but serious. Like he's a good guy. Nutty, I love him. But he's honest. But the thing is, within his nuttiness, he's like, I don't give a shit. This is who I am. You know.
There you
he's
go.
Like, you know. Joey Bada Bing, thank you for being here, and everybody else. If we missed you guys, we thank you. We love you. So back to this. So all right, here's one. I hope that Gary is listening. Our last who's question. We're gonna put in the phrase of a who's Tom Cruz. Right. Are you ready for this one, Tom?
I gotta pause you guys for a minute. I'm in my warehouse and somebody's making some really off noises. I'll be right back.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, Tom.
We'll finish saying hello. We did say hi to Hollywood Reseller and Sandy Kirk and Flipping.
Thank you guys, everyone, for joining us today.
This is real. This is how it is. You know, like you're in a warehouse, you got to stop in the middle of.
Yeah. Hey, exactly. Yeah, appreciate all the birthday wishes as well, guys. Thank you.
You guys, pound his Instagram. Send him thousands of happy birthdays for Luis. This is my brother. He's turned 23. Greet him. Send him birthday cake pieces. Send him the love. Oh, Jennifer Hayes is in the house. Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
And then Global Voodoo says, "Happy birthday, Luis."
Yep. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
We appreciate you being here, Mike. And Westside Gary, we're gonna sneak a question in for Tom Cruise. I was about to ask. We're gonna ask him, and Gary is here. Gary will reveal the answer. So you're gonna have to somehow catch up. You okay, Tom?
I'll give you a little background quickly. I'm in my warehouse, and
no, go ahead, Tom.
There's neighbors, right? But we have them when next door when we rent it out, and there's a guy in there who's having an allergy attack, so he's sneezing, and I'm like, man, I think they could hear it on the broadcast. I had to go over there and tell you.
Oh, we don't. No, we're good. You know what? Anything goes. If you guys let out a pedo, just let it go and let it go. All right, let's go. We got a question for you. Who is? Are you ready for this? You got to think hard. Tell us if you know this. This is a trick question.
All right.
Who is Vato Yoda?
You know who Vato Yoda is, Tom?
That's I don't know, my homeboy Gary. There it is.
Who's Gary is the one who made up Vato Yoda. It's a lot. You tell him.
Also, me and Louie and Gary know about it, and whoever was with us that night also knows. This was created by Gary.
So, oh, awesome. So who deserves that nickname?
Good question.
Oh, you okay.
No, tell him why we did that, Luis.
Because Louie had a shirt with the little Yoda, but he was dressed like a Mexican, pretty much. He had the
sombrero.
Oh, wow.
He had a poncho. He had the
poncho.
What do you call it? You know?
Yeah, and everything. And then Larry Gary just said, Vato Yoda.
Yeah, because I kept saying, it's either Yoda or a gremlin, or it looks like E.T. I said, order. And he goes, no. Gary's like, no, that's Vato Yoda.
That's Vato Yoda.
And after that, we're going to never let that go. We're going to make T-shirts one day.
Yeah.
Vato Yoda. Visit Cali Reseller Luis's auction. Vato Yoda.
There you go.
Nice. Maybe he's got to be the Vato Yoda. He's the guy with all the wise stuff. And you are too.
Well, I'm glad to be ready. I'm ready on the joke. That's awesome. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that was fun.
It's only within our little small circle. We're all about the Yodas. We're like, that means we're good auctioneers. We're ready to go. Bring the fire. Why did you start? So let's talk about your music. We know you got an affiliation with music. You got a love for it, because I watch your things, dude. You bring fire, and maybe you'll have a couple examples. No. It's awesome because vinyl is hot. Vinyl's always been it's never been a lost cause, but it's picked up even more. And you are the guy. How much vinyl do you have?
I've been known to have upwards of 80,000 vinyls. I don't have them anymore. A little background on me. I was a DJ for many years. I was involved in what they call top 70 market mix show radio, where I would make mixes on digital tape and send them out to the affiliates that I was involved in. And you don't really get paid to make mixes, but what you end up with is packages on your doorstep every day, tall packages of free records that they send you, because they're looking at you as a promoter to maybe slip that record into a mix that you make. Because I mean, I was involved in
grab some sourcing of that music, right?
Right. So I was involved in KGGI, KYLD in New Mexico, and I think it was another one in Bakersfield that I was also involved in. Anyway, so when you're an industry guy, you get all this industry product and it just started stacking up everywhere because you never really let it go. I don't know why I didn't. It's okay. But one day I realized I had all these records, because then I started like moving away from the DJing and all that stuff, and I ended up with all these records, and I was like, well, what am I going to do with all these records? I can't pay to store them. A buddy of mine's like, well, bro, just put them online and you'll make a lot of money. I'm like, that money is not really the emphasis, right? But it's just about getting rid of them, maybe get them to a new home or some DJ that needs them or whatever. And I started seeing the profits, and I'm like, wow, this is not a bad thing. So it snowballed into this giant thing where I was buying, selling. This goes way back to like 2003, 4, 5, all through that era.
Right at the infancy stages of eBay and stuff, you know?
Yeah, something like that. But sure, I sold on like Discogs platform.
Oh, okay.
This is a great site to check out, Discogs or PopSpsych. Discogs is a great sellers platform. PopSpsych is a great research platform. But I could show those names later in the broadcast if you all are out there. I plan on my channel to start a tutorial on how to source records and what things to stay away from. It's going to be a ton of content, and I haven't gotten started because it's going to be so much to map out. Because I'd really love to be able to give a video to you and say, when you go to the bins or you go to the thrift store, this is what you get and this is what you avoid.
I love it.
It'll help to minimize, because not a lot of people have a warehouse like this. They have a garage or they have a room in their house. They don't have room. Records will consume you. Believe me, it's wild. It's everywhere.
No, I will just say it doesn't matter like if you're doing records or not, but I know if you have vinyl, that takes up volume. So that's overhead.
Yeah. So the hope is as I grow, I want to continue to put out more content, but then to really zero it into content that's teaching or really helping people. Yeah.
So this is what I want to get into. This is great. I'm glad you brought it up. You're bringing up a really good point. I think what you said hits it right on the target, Tom, is that you're giving us a clue that it's not just about being a content creator, but what is your intention for wanting to do it? And I love that you got this specific niche that people either get or don't get or want to learn or There, in what better place? Where do we all go when we want to fix our car or a dryer or washer or some computer thing? You go on YouTube. If you're, and there's a lot of new generations. There's Generation Z, and then there's the Generation Us from that collected these records all along, and then we realized, it's not just digital sound; it's analog.
Right.
Yeah.
So fun. So if you had to pick, this is going to be. Here's my challenge for you. I'm going to throw this back at you. So. And a mindfulness thing kind of thing. You don't have to answer right now, but like something just to kind of put in the back burner and to mull as a content creator, but specific to your niche. What would be like a top 5 list of like must? If you're to deal with records, these are my top 5. So that could be like one video, and then you break 5 videos out of that, and then you can say my top 10 of do not forget. You really need to consider these things. And then here's my throughout the year top 25. These are things, and I love how you just said a little while ago. You said. These are things not to do. And most content creators are like, no, watch me. This is what you do, as opposed to what to watch out for. It seems like you want to teach some stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look, I can sit here and say, I do all these wonderful things and that, I hold the secrets and you can't have any. You know what? Come on now. We're not about that. We're about community. I want to be able to share these things. Am I going to go to North Carolina and source records? And because I know there's a couple of resellers over there, I'm not going to tell you how to buy them because one day I might show up there and don't be my competition. No way. I want to be able to make content that shows you how to go after this stuff and avoid, little pitfalls and little mistakes that I made. Whatever I have went through, I'm willing to pass along to you. I can show you how to source. I can show you how to research accurately records that are really rare. There's a couple pay sites. There's eBay, but eBay is not the answer to everything. And there's all these other little subsets or little groups around in the community that'll help you learn and understand where pricing is. And it's a long road. Believe me, vinyl, I mean, I've been doing this a long time and it doesn't just happen overnight. But I mean, there's stuff out there, easy things to learn to avoid some of the pitfalls that buying vinyl can create for people that don't know as much about it. But yeah, I want to really get into that, get into some expanded instructional stuff. I know there's other record guys out there too, but this is just coming from perspective.
But nobody's going to do it like you are because you're Tom Cruise. Nobody sees things that you've seen. It's not that you're better, or it's not that you have the only angle on it. But you do have, and I've seen people where I've watched 2 videos and they're saying the same thing, but I'm like, I don't know why I can hear it better from this guy. So everybody's got to go on, and you got to have your voice. The thing is just bring what you got, and it's like. I know if you've been in the industry this long and you've had this many records, you've seen a lot, you've experienced a lot.
Right.
Just in the tangibility of it.
Yeah. And at this point in my career, I mean, I'm downsizing, and I'm glad that I came to this community just to help facilitate that during this really crazy past year. But I've realized that through time that I don't need to be, a person who has to be mums a word about the way I strategize. I'm at a point now where I'll tell you all the things that I think have worked for me, share all the little secrets and strategies. I don't have a problem sharing it all because you just can't be everywhere all the time.
No. And you know what? And sometimes you may go, oh my God, I just figured that out. I really want to share it. And if you're that type of person, you want to share it, that's good. I'll say I've done that a couple of times where I'm like, nobody knows about this. I need to share it. And unfortunately, I get lazy or get distracted or life. So there's nothing wrong with you wanting to do it. But here's the thing, like you said, I'm here to help other people, but I don't think it's selfish to say, what can I do so that I can get something out of this? Like,
well,
one is if you can get hits and you got a fire piece of knowledge about a content of something, like Luis hit an algorithm not too long ago where he just did this specific how to do this. And like, I'm like, good, dude, you got like thousands coming in on that, and slowly over time it's going to grow. But for us, I think it'd be good if we can get some kind of like numbers up there and watch hours, because eventually all this effort you're putting into it doesn't hurt to gain a little bit of credit,
right?
Because we're not like on the ego side of it, too much. But I'm not saying that's a good or bad thing either, but I'm just saying but what you're doing is you're providing specific things of knowledge, and even if it only got like 2,000 hits, that's a lot of people wanting to know about that specific thing, like what not to do with the needle or whatever.
Yeah, I think the benefit for all that for me is content. I mean, my channel's still growing. It's still in its infancy. I'm still trying to learn TubeBuddy.
Takes a long time, right?
Trying to learn all the apps I need to put on my phone to be able to put up good thumbnails, to do editing. There's just so much I haven't done. I'm like really far behind right now. But right now, all I'm doing for my videos start, stop, start, stop, start, stop.
Can I tell you? Sometimes just do it like start, stop. Just don't. Yeah. Sometimes, and sometimes just ramble a little bit. Say, hey, okay, we're gonna get to that in a minute. Right. Okay, here we go. You know what? Added a few more minutes. Maybe they'll watch it. They'll speed through it. Whatever. Right. You know, people are going to watch it the way they want to watch it anyway. You know. Right.
So I think right now the way I've laid out my channel, it's just putting out content so I can get more confidence, knowing that that the more I put out, the more I can construct the video to keep people's interest, because. Yeah. Interest and keeping somebody in for 12-15 minutes is a real chore, and hopefully you're interesting enough for them to want to come in there and see you. But that's a challenge that I think I'm ready to accept.
And I got a little challenge that'll go with that in a minute. And by the way, I liked how you said gaining confidence. By the way, we got a question in a minute we're going to ask from Hollywood Reseller. But the confidence thing, I'm glad you brought that up. That's something that we would talk about on Mindful Merchants. How can we just gain confidence? Daily positive affirmations. Today's my day. I'm going to do my best. I'll get most of this done. We'll focus on giving it my best goal. Do what you can do. You know, it's like we always talk about it. And sometimes you just need a buddy. Like Gary will call you, hey, what's up, Tom? Yeah. I'm trying to do this. He'll go, get it done, bro. Get it done. You know, get that little kick in the butt, whatever you need to do. You know, what was that question from Hollywood Reseller? Oh, what do you think of 8-track tapes?
About 8-tracks, yeah.
For me right now, the priority in media are as follows.
Okay.
I would say LPs, 45s, then it's because CDs and cassettes can be about the same in the priority, and then 8-tracks are probably on the bottom because they have a limited how do we say it? The purchasing audience is a little diminished when it comes to those. If you're lucky enough to have a couple resellers that really love the 8-tracks in your back pocket, then you can pick a number, phone, pick up the phone and call those guys, which is hard to find. You know, I've been to enough trade shows, I've been to a lot of events and had people ask me about them, and those few people that have been really persistent, I put their number and I'll call them.
And I will say this much, I'm with you, Tom. Like the sell-through rate on 8-track tapes, nothing like other media, you know.
Right. Yeah, I would say that they're the lowest of priority, but they can be very lucrative. Some of them can do really well.
Okay. Yeah. Luis, you got any questions you want to bear down on our overlord, Whooz Tom Cruz down here?
Yeah, definitely. So I know you mentioned that you used to DJ and do all that stuff before. Yeah. How long did you do that? Do you still continue to DJ to this day?
The answer, the latter part of your question, no. But I'll tell you what it is. I started DJing in like 1985. Cool. That's a long time ago to some of the people in here right now. I really got into it. I started listening to radio, and radio had in my area what they call mix shows or jams or mixing, where DJs late at night would play all these cool records, and they would just do these wikis, backspins, and then they would blend records together. And it's like started that whole DJ culture of mixing, scratching, beat juggling, that kind of stuff. So I was inspired by a few local DJs here in the Bay Area, went and bought some equipment, bought a few records on a minimal budget. A couple buddies of mine found out that I was doing it, hired me for a house party because house parties are rocking. Yeah. So house party, you can go all night, and however long you can hold up as long as the party goes. So that went on for some years. Then I got into the club scene. I got really asked to be part of a couple really successful nightclubs. And belonged to some record pools and some industry people, got to really hobnob with important people to get my name out there, and started receiving all kinds of free product and the snowball effect where your name gets passed around.
It's that networking. It's great. I love that about the reseller world, but I see it stronger in the auction world too. It's very important to network. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Then I got my luck to go to radio, and then I wasn't really physically on the radio. I was preparing mixes for radio stations that were filling time slots late at night. I was preparing. But that's pretty much it for that. But I've been DJing. I started DJ 85 and probably stopped in like 2005.
What was your DJ name?
DJ Cowboy.
Oh, look at that.
With a K.
DJ Cowboy.
With a
Y'all
K.
hear it here? Tom Cruise, DJ Cowboy. Y'all.
Yeah. So on that, I'll tell you that my Instagram is DJ Cowboy, and then there's some 3 little numbers after that, but 420. Okay. That's a whatever. Anyway, so that's my Instagram. But yeah, I was doing that for a long time. Realized that, and then now settled down, married, have a real life in front of me. I went into the trades and became a plumber and all this other building trade stuff. We grow up and we do what we do. And actually, I was working while DJing many of those DJ years. So I'm not,
So we hustle. We hustle.
Yeah, you got to burn the candle at both ends a lot of times to keep it rolling. But then, like I said, fast forward to last year, I just started, once the COVID thing came in, I had to swerve, when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. I couldn't do any, I was doing, where Colton is, or Buena Park?
Yeah, Colton is not
it Colton? Is that a town?
Yeah, it's a city right next to Rialto and San Bernardino.
Okay, so that's not the city I'm talking about then. It's another town that's right next to Buena Park. Anyway, my mother lives in Buena Park, and there's a trade show like a mile from her house every month. So I would go to my mom, visit with all my stuff, and then I'd go to the trade show the next day, come back and hang out with my mom some more. The next day I would hang out with my mom. We'd go to dinner, lunch, whatever. But yeah, all that's over because the mess had happened. So that affected my income, of course, and had to swerve. And then here we are on YouTube a year ago. But yeah, anyway, so I guess once everything kind of starts to slowly open up, I may find myself appearing once in a while on the trade shows. But I got to tell you, this YouTube thing has been fun. Met a lot of great people, and I'm doing
too, right? It's a lot of work because we all have our householding of I won't say real life because this is a part of our real life, but it is part of the business for us, and it's a little bit of a balance. How do you deal with the balance? Like, when you make sure you take care of Tom, we got to take care of our health, we got to take care of our family.
Right. So obviously the primary things in life are family, health, or health and family, right? Because without the health, you can't take care of anybody. You can't even take care of yourself. So that's always paramount. And then of course the business is always something that's in my head. I've been a business oriented person almost my whole life. With my dad's a supreme hustler. My dad is a vintage Ford Mustang enthusiast and has a huge warehouse and shop up here about 30 miles. He's a king of Mustangs, classic Mustangs, Cobra,
Guess what my mom's first car was, and she bought it. She bought it straight from the Ford dealership in San Jose. She bought a 1966 Ford Mustang ragtop with was it a 289? I think it was. Little skaters on the side, baby blue. I bet you they met one time, like where he's like, I want to buy that.
So that's where my hustle comes from. Of course, it's okay. I like to give credit to my dad because that much I do acknowledge.
I'm glad you did. Yeah.
But yeah, so just keeping those things in priority, those priorities in order. Health, family.
I think it's important for you to look back and go back, because Luis and I always talk about where did our hustle come from? Don't forget. Don't ever take it for granted, and always be grateful. That's part of being humble.
For sure.
So knowing that, because whether we had a good relationship or not so great when we were teens with our parents, but we learned so much from them. They taught us a lot, how to be who we're gonna, hustle from and whatnot. So let's talk about. Do you have any examples of LPs you want to share? Or anything?
I do. If you want to go to my vinyl cam,
look at this.
Now these are. Gary and I just had an auction this past Saturday night over on his channel. And these
this would be the little showroom you do. Okay.
Yeah. So I got my little show box here. Sorry, I'm just really about plastering my logo everywhere. Sorry about that. But these records are spoken for. So please don't message or write a comment wanting them. But I'm here to share because they're special. This is Slayer's Rain in Blood.
All right. I can't ask for
it. It's an amazing record. This record comps quite high.
Really?
In the hundreds for sure.
Would you say most of I call them butt rockers, the big hair bands and stuff, and the really good classic rock, are those usually pretty good?
Yeah, I think it's all, you know, relative. I mean, if it's just cheesy hairband stuff that they sold 1 million of, that tends to maybe, you know, the stuff that I think that sells really well is the stuff that just exhausts right away and super rare. The Slayer records, you never see them on the market because people are too afraid to let them go because they're so awesome. Right? Here's another one here. This is Led Zeppelin. This is an awesome German import. And this record is super clean. This came from an estate from a person who came over from overseas.
Wow.
It must have been just, I don't know. They just probably didn't play these records at all. And I'm just like, okay, well, no problem. So score there. Here's an iconic Doors, like a collection of Doors. It's not anything unusual other than just, you know,
it's like a standard compilation.
Compilations don't always garner a lot of cash in the reseller world, but compilations are fun to have because they have all the artists' best songs on them, right?
And it's nice because if you can start, let's just say for you as a reseller, just find somebody that wants an intro into the door of the LP vinyl world.
Absolutely.
Start them off. Then they can become back a reoccurring customer. And eventually they go, I want the real one now. I heard that's rare. And they get the buck.
This is Zeppelin 3. This is the pinwheel cover. So there's like a little dial here, and these little images come through.
I heard about this. I have not seen that cover.
Me neither. First time seeing it.
Cover. Yeah. Anyway, so I just had a phenomenal night selling a lot of great records Saturday, and I like I said, I can tell you right away that the important thing to do when you're wanting to do this kind of stuff, and it probably translates to video games, comics, sports figures, things like that. You have to find, you just absolutely have to find sourcing avenues. And I know everybody has their own little idea. I have mine, and mine is that I have built relationships and just amazing relationships with storage auction people and guys that go in, roll the door up. They can already look at, after they've won it, they already know where the money's going to come from. And then they see boxes of records on the floor. They pick up the phone and they call me. And where I get their repeated business or callbacks is when I respond right away to get over to where they are.
It is the reliability, like just in hand, saying boom,
ready to go. So I've gotten to a point where nowadays I can walk into a situation where 20 boxes and I can curate the collection in 30 minutes. I know what I know, and that comes with a lot of experience. And I know what exactly what I think the collection is worth, and then that's my bargaining. Hey, I think it's, you know, at least, you know.
Yeah, but you went from like, you know, and this is where like I think it's so understated, and I think it's, you know, it's people don't really get it. There's the vinyl heads, but I think some people go, you know, oh yeah, that's the old guy. He knows all this stuff about. No. He's the guy that was playing the records, making these compilations like of disc tapes or whatever. But you had to go through and sift those. You probably touched every one of those albums at one time or another. Oh, you know what I mean? Yeah, to kind of go, nah. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time. You know, and it's rare.
The one thing that'll turn off sellers like storage guys or people that are trying to unload stuff. If you're just out to cherry pick them, you're at the bottom of the list already. If you want to go to the top of the list,
they want to get their. Not only do they want to get back what they put back into a storage shed, like you said, they want to turn over, but they want to be treated fair. They don't want you.
They want that quick flip so they can move on to the next unit.
Because what is it about in the auction world? For me, I understand. Like it's like when you go yard selling, estate selling stuff. You need cash flow constantly because you may have $6,000 worth of product, but you need the next one to get ready because that stuff's going out the door, you know.
Yeah, if you're just going to start out in records and you see somebody at a market or somewhere and there's just like one box on the ground, say, hey, you know, I like the records. What would it take to take them all? And they might just surprise you and say $25 and they're yours. Because one thing about records, they're heavy. And they're a pain in the rear end to load back in the car, to go put them in the garage, move the cat food or the stuff in the mower and the blower and everything in the garage because you got to plunk down this.
I love that you're telling it this is the truth of it. You know, I'll be honest. I have so many records right now, and I need to kind of like I can see me going. I need to get it down to like maybe this much now.
Yeah. I mean, I bet you out of every box I've ever bought like that, I bet you 3 records in a box paid for the lot.
That's good.
Now the burden was on me to figure out what to do with the rest of them.
Yeah.
You know, charity them out, maybe have, if there's
what do you do
water damage
with all the Lawrence Welk, the polkas, the, you know, this or that or whatever? And not to say that those aren't valuable, but do you want to like, you know, sit there and list them on eBay for like,
right. No, that, like, there's a rule that I have is I won't deal in $1 to $7 records. I just don't have a time.
You gotta have a threshold, right? You gotta have that threshold.
Yeah, it's all about the price point.
This is good. This is the mental strategies we're talking about.
Right.
Yep.
So let's get into some mental well-being. Like, what do you need to do when you get in those days where like, oh crap, and Tom's taking off his glasses and he's going, how do I deal with this next truckload coming in? You know, like, where you gotta now you gotta unload it. You got it. And then you got the time to cherry pick. Like you said, you know how to curate it. You go through and you boom, boom, boom. Where do you unload this stuff? Like, what do you do to get the motivation to keep pushing through? Because you know what? You got to move on to the next truckload, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm stoked when I get a phone call from any of my sellers that are like, Tom, I got 7 boxes. You ready to go? I was like, yeah, bring it over here. And, you know, I go through it, cash them out. They leave. I'm stoked because now I'm just like Christmas morning all on the boxes looking for all the killer, right? And then, you know, then the rush kind of subsides because now I'm safe. You know, you go out on this limb, you run out there, you throw the cash on this little tiny limb, and it's really weak. You look through the collection, and you're seeing stuff, and you slowly climb back into the tree where the strong limbs are, and now you're secure because you found where the money's coming from, for sure. Like, you curated it so you know, but you just want to be sure.
That money is in the roots. That's holding a whole tree, you know, the growth. It's like, you know.
Yeah, so there is a psychological effect to all this. I mean, yeah, everything is kind of like, it's not, I don't want to say addiction because that's kind of really a hard word for this. But I mean, you know, you buy to sell, to buy more, to sell more. This constant machine that's turning. But I think that every now and then I get anxiety when I see somebody show up with classical or old 78s or things that I'm just going to have the worst time. You know what I really have struggled with? Telling the seller that brought the stuff over that it's worthless.
Yeah.
That's
you can just say
thing. It crushes me to have to tell some of these guys once in a while.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about a mental strip. Maybe we can help each other. We'll bounce a couple ideas off. Maybe like one. Let's talk about this for 30 seconds. So like, how can you be honest as you can be without being brutally honest to break that relationship? Like you said, you want to keep that going and say, hey, listen, you know, I've been honest with you all these times.
Right.
You know, I love you. You've given me the best deals, but today is probably not our best day. Say, I'll give you $50 for it, but I'll be honest. I'm probably going to pass it along to somebody that may not even want them.
Exactly. So my whole,
tell them like with a gentle blow.
My whole approach to that is if it's the guy that I bought 10 deals on, let's say I did 10 deals in the history of dealing with this one particular guy.
Yeah.
He's brought me on the average really decent stuff, right?
Yeah.
So then if I get one where it's really horrible, I'll say, look, you know, this is just one of those things where it didn't come down the way, you know, we hope, but because you've been kind and I want you to come back, I want you to always think of me as the guy that'll pay. I'm going to give you a little extra, even though, you know, and usually they're like, oh, don't worry about it.
Remember me. Yeah. You're not telling them that, but you know, that is part of our ethics. You know, it's like, you treat me good. I want to be there to help you, but at the same time, you got to be honest with them, let them know that this isn't a great one, you know, for me. And
and these guys, if like I said, this isn't a situation where a guy drove across town to come and see me with some stuff that brought it to my warehouse. Now he's got gas into it, his time, and now all this stuff is going on. And I'm like, well, I can understand and sympathize with that. So in order to keep you, you know, thinking of me, I gotta be able to help you so that you remember me every time. And go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah,
it's totally cool. And like I said, it doesn't happen that often, but it does occur, and you just have to be prepared and ready for it.
I love where this conversation's going, Tom. I feel like you and I probably could sit over, you know, a glass of coffee or whatever, you know, whatever, just a small drink. Talk about this stuff. You know? I didn't say I couldn't put bourbon in my coffee, but so the whole thing is like, I like kind of like where Horizon Pick says perception of value can be challenging. You know, it is a lot about that thing too. I mean, there are times they do let you go through the boxes, right? Like you kind of go, oh crap, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, we got Perry Como here. This is going south. You know,
right.
And it's like but it's like there's so many angles on it too. It's like, and I also want a different perspective from you because you've been in this. You know, you get this. You may have a different angle on your understanding and your passion and your knowledge and your love for vinyls, and it's sort of a love. Maybe it's a love-hate relationship, like selling and buying. But what do you think about like in the last 10, 20 years with the reproductions of vinyls, you know, and they're charging like $25, $35, you know, dollars each. Yeah. And do you see this, the level of LPs sticking around for good?
So to those that are lay record vinyl consumers, let's say you don't know a whole lot about records, to many collectors that'll pay up, they want the first issue. It's like books, right? It's like anything that's the OG, right? They'll pay up for those. Although there are many reissues that follow, the reissues can claim technology improvements, sound quality, the way it's presented, the thicker vinyl, better packaging. So they go around all these different ways to keep the newer reissues interesting enough for you to pay up $20-$30 for a Beastie Boys album that's, you know,
because they'll do that and they whatever digital on top of that, and sometimes they even throw in a CD or whatever the promo.
Right. So I think records are overall records are still king. I think there's a lot of people looking for them. The younger generations have picked it up. It carries a lot of cachet. You see people with consoles in their house, with stacks of records in their living room. They have people over when it was allowed to have little, you know, hangouts and stuff. Now look, I got a vinyl. I'm putting it on, and then I got this scotch or this whiskey over here. So it's all cachet, and it's about what
it becomes social. It's not just trend. I don't think it's just fashion because. My understanding of vinyl, I'll never forget. I remember I brought a vinyl home. I don't even know who it was. I think it was, what's the guy that left the Beach Boys? Glenn Campbell. And I remember I brought a Glenn Campbell out, and my mom goes, "You spent $1 on that, you know, or 50 cents." She yelled at me, you know, and I just remember liking one song off of that. And she was like, "You spent that much off of that," you know, and I'm like, you know, I had this bad feeling like, I can't like vinyl, you know, and it's like, you know, but I remember there's such a deep, rich history of it. Like whether you watch the movie High Fidelity or just whether you get it and you're a techie and you have a great speaker system, you know,
right.
It's like, there's such an, you know, an amazing thing. My affiliation with records is, I'm trying to remember his name. I think you'll know, maybe you'll say, he's a visual artist. He did drawings. He did that logo called Keep on Trucking. You know what I'm talking about? But there was a movie made about him and this other guy, and they used to go hunting for blues records. I'm talking, you know what I'm talking about?
Not sure.
Oh, God, I'm trying to remember his name. But this guy, these were the guys back in the 70s and 80s that would hoard all this stuff that is now the holy grails of like records, like the actual blues records that would be like from the 20s and 30s and 40s, you know?
So it's like maybe Horizon has the answer, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, let me see here. Art Crumb, thank you. Okay, yeah,
thank you, guys. I'm sorry, I drew a blank there. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I saw it from flipping, but it's probably Horizon had it too. Yeah, Art Crumb. Thank you, guys. This is what I love about doing lives. You just forget something. You brain fart like me half the time because I'm getting old. You forget, but you know, Robert Crumb, and there's this other guy that was actually one of his. He was the writer for a lot of Robert Crumb comic books. But those two, they would go out and hunt this stuff, and you can't find it anymore. You know, those things. Have you ever found any of those Holy Grail blues records or anything that's really uncommon? What's the most expensive record you had?
I found, so real quick story. It was just a random day. I was looking for estate sales in my area. Saw one about a mile from my house. It was slated to kick off around 8 o'clock that morning. And my wife and I had plans, and I wasn't going to be able to make it to the estate sale. So, you know, reluctantly, I'm like this in the car. We're going off doing our thing because I'm not going to this estate sale now because now we have these other plans. It was okay because guess what? On the way home, I checked the Craigslist ad again, and the guy had posted the estate sale and moved the time up to 11 a.m. No one else when we showed up was there.
Oh, they took off.
They said, well, if he's not here, he's not. What happened was, this is what happened. The guy was coming from out of town. Believe it or not, he was coming in from Texas. come out here to clear an estate that his father had passed and left him.
Really
Nobody
noticed.
showed up because he wasn't here at the estate at 8 o'clock. So when
Yeah.
he finally arrived, he was all organized and ready to kick it on at 11.
9, it's
show
10.
up.
I'm not waiting for this guy anymore. Here comes
I
Tom
show
Cruise
up.
at 11.
A big console full of records and
Wow.
a lot of what we call bootleg records, and they're called the trademark of quality. All these bootlegs from the 70s that were bootlegs and mailed out to people in brown paper bags because they were concert footage or bootleg recorded material from concerts. So this guy had a bunch of them. He was a subscriber and spent a ton of money on all these records. So I go to the guy, I said, how much per record? And he was like, oh, don't worry, I'll make you a great deal on the volume. I got to get this place cleared out. Anyway, long story short, I take them all home, hand the guy $72 for 72 records. Wow. I found this Bob Dylan one-off. It's called a Splatter Wax two record set. Put it on eBay back in 2009. The search is still available to be found. It's called Bob Dylan 1965 Royal Albert Hall. Green and white vinyl. It went for $2,280.
Wow, that is awesome.
That's the beauty of what we do. Whether you're whatever the subject matter, fine. But you knew, and you're like, okay, let's grab them. Then
I'll be honest with you. I did not know about those.
Fine. But you knew to pick these things up, and you went back and you got it.
But I researched and I was like, okay, this looks like about a $300 record. But as you know, on eBay, what happens?
What's up?
They start fighting over it, and it went to an Italian buyer, and I had to ship it to Italy. And if you know anything about shipping, about shipping to Italy in the mid, the 2009, 2010, there was a slight postal scandal going on in Italy where people weren't getting their packages. So I put this thing on every service you can imagine. Get it there tracked and locked and loaded, and so I didn't want to lose out. So I paid up to ship that thing, but I was stoked about the profit. That was
but you know what? Yeah, that's part of the business too. Is I'm learning. You know what? Like the other day, I shipped out. I bought this book for like a quarter. It was this thick. It was this thick. It was a cookbook, and I looked and went, "This is by Vincent Price and his wife." And I look inside it, signed by Vincent Price.
I saw that on your channel.
25 cents. I was like, what? It's sold for over 100 and something, almost 125. Plus, I got shipping. But you know what I did? I went ahead and paid a little extra on shipping. I put that I knew, even though I sent it priority, I had to pay that extra shipping for priority, because I had my first time something just broke. And I went, thank God it was under $50. And I just got my check today. I was like, what? So,
for sure.
So
something inside tells you for that particular thing, you better treat it right. You don't want that one going sideways. You don't want that going sideways.
CYA. CYA. Cover your assets. Yeah. Hey, Tom, you've been brilliant. I feel like we can keep going on for a couple hours, but I'm going to be respectful.
Is my bro in the backstage anywhere?
What?
No, not yet.
No, Gary.
Right. Gary, jump in, bro. Say hi.
We're gonna have you on. If you get it here before we're about to shut down here, because we're really close on time. We just want to say, you guys, thank you for everybody. And there's a lot more people. eBay addicts came in. Duncan from Down Under. I see Lady Luck Junk. Danica's here. Thank you, Frugal Peanut Resellers. Summers 422 is here. Awesome Jarhead Entrepreneur. I mean, so many more people came in. We thank you guys. We value your time, Tom, and we will have you in the future. We're going to have you back. Come on as a guest. We may have to. What is that? What is that? Somebody knocking at the door?
No. That was the bat phone.
Yeah.
I thought somebody was knocking at the door. Darn. So I guess it wasn't Gary. I thought that was like a clue. Like, okay, let him in. No. But next time we'll have to have you guys one day, maybe in the future, maybe after summer or during summer. I don't know. When you guys have some fire thing going on, we'll have you guys on as a team, because we do this thing on Tuesday, the second weekend of the month, called Week 2, Strong 2. That's a fun segment we do. We bring in power couples. Last one this month, we had the Resell Brothers and whatnot. And these guys, you would have loved them. They're down there.
Right on.
Tom, I have so many more questions for you. And like,
we
you
could
already
go on
brought-
all day. We could totally nerd out if you
Well,
want.
this is our first time, you and I. And poor
Yeah.
Luis, we pushed Luis out of the way. Like, Luis, be quiet. You know.
That's all
And
good.
happy birthday, Luis. You guys, check it out.
What's
Look
up,
who's here.
Gary?
Look who's in the
What's up, guys?
Look
How
at that
you
pompadour. Look at that pompadour.
Yeah, look at that. That's a fade right there, bro.
Oh,
You guys had a
This is
great. You guys had a great conversation going. I didn't want to interrupt anything.
no, it's all good.
brother.
You're always
Welcome.
welcome, Gary. You know that.
I was listening to you guys in the background, and I'm like, I got a phone call. I'm like, shit, let me call you right back. You know, how you guys doing?
We're
Yeah,
happy
man.
to see you. By the way, this is the original Vato Yoda right here, right there. There's our Vato Yoda.
Vato
You
Yoda
don't know
right
it. By the way,
I got-
Vato Yoda, wish my buddy here a good happy birthday. It's his
Yes,
birthday.
happy birthday, bro.
there. Thanks, brother.
Happy birthday, man.
Appreciate it,
Drinks
man.
on me. Drinks
Thanks,
on me.
man. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, great interview though, guys. Awesome
We're
job.
happy. We're gonna have you both. Can you come back another time, you guys? We're not sure when our schedules open up and when it's good for you guys specifically. We'd love to
Yeah.
have you both come on, talk
Sure.
about being a power team, talk about the
Yeah.
world. We didn't get to talk enough about auctions actually this time around. Maybe that'll be the time we'll talk about auctions. We'll hit
Oh,
it
yeah.
off.
No problem.
We love this, and you guys got to bring your glasses, and you know you got to wear that pompadour, Gary.
Oh, wow, bro.
Yeah, man.
Ooh,
Don't be,
All right,
don't
Gary,
be
good to see you,
jealous,
brother.
Louie. You jealous, bro?
I love it, dude. I don't got no hair.
Yeah, I think
Of course
Louis
I'm
just jealous.
No hair.
Mm, that's it.
Hey, that's business,
cool.
Gary, right there, y'all.
Yeah.
Gary, you have a unique friend here down below you. This guy
Yeah.
is humble. He's awesome. He's full of knowledge. You guys are a great resource to the community. We thank you both. Come on, Tom, get over it. Just get over it. You got my favorite. I'm gonna steal that from you one day. You got my favorite poster. Every time I see you, I'm excited because she's back there. I know Vampirella. I've sold her stuff. It's like
Sorry about
she's
the
awesome.
explicit content there, brother.
Yeah, he had to cover up a little bit there.
What? Okay, there we go.
But thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys. We got to Luis, happy birthday, my brother.
Thanks,
We're just
man.
excited to have you guys. I mean, like I said, we can talk so long. I got my daughter here. Luis has got his kids. You guys have business to do. I know you guys got
Oh,
work.
I definitely got things. I got my shipping to get out.
Yeah.
You better get your butt going, bro. You 2 hours
There-
ahead of me.
The boss is right there, so I better get moving.
Uh-oh.
All right, Vato Yoda's gonna kick
All right,
your
guys.
butt. That's all I'm gonna say.
I know, right?
Hey,
All right,
thanks,
Luis,
everybody.
close
All
us
right.
out.
Thanks,
All right,
thanks
well,
for everybody
for-
for. Can I say one thing and then I'll let you do it?
Yeah, go ahead,
No,
Tom.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Thanks for everybody for putting up with our crazy industry talk. Appreciate everybody for coming in and those that subscribe to me. Appreciate that very much.
Any wise words you want to give us, Tom?
Anyway, Luis, birthday boy, take it away.
All right. Thanks, man. Like I said, thanks everybody for the birthday wishes. And also want to thank Tom for joining us and Gary for also jumping in. I know he's a busy man too, so appreciate it. He's jumping in. And everyone that joined us today, appreciate it. If you guys do not follow Westside Gary or Whooz Tom Cruz, make sure you guys follow him. I know Jennifer's dropping the links in the chat, so make sure you guys go
She's
follow
dropping it
him.
like it's hot. We got Tom Cruise's stuff down. If you can't, just follow Tom Cruise. You'll find Gary.
You'll
Let me
find
tell you,
Gary.
he'll be there. That's it. And if you don't know, email us. Let's end it here, Luis. You guys remember one thing: maintain your focus. Let's elevate together. See you later.
You guys.
Thank you for being on Mindful Merchants.
Hey, guys.